What is up, guys? Source back in another video, and in today's video I have the offseason / free agency review for the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks have been kind of disrespected for the past couple of weeks. I mean, everybody is counting them out in the playoffs now because they lost Malcolm Brogdon. Now, I'm here to say, I think this Bucks team are the favorites to come out the East. Yes, I said it. I feel like next season the East is not there, so to say, but I feel like they are definitely the favorite to come out. I mean, when you have an MVP candidate and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and not just an MVP candidate, like he puts up good numbers. This dude Giannis is literally a freak. This man put up 27, 13, and 6 last year on efficient numbers and won 60 games, and people have the nerve to say that they probably won't make it past the Western Conference Finals. What? Now, I just want to debate this really quickly, okay? Looking at the other teams, I could potentially give them, a problem. The only other team I could potentially see them giving them a problem is the Sixers. And the Sixers are just built weirdly. I mean, yes, they have the recipe to, contend against the Bucks. They have Joel and Al Horford who could clog up the paint, and I do believe that'll be a problem. But really, outside of that, I don't know. Ben Simmons is a weird player. Ben Simmons is definitely an amazing talent. He's an amazing player. But man, he cannot shoot, and that's going to hurt the Sixers so much. We saw it throughout the season, and we saw it in the playoffs, how Ben Simmons not being able to shoot hurt them. It hurt Joel Embiid's numbers. And that's another topic, is Joel Embiid. We don't know. Joel Embiid always has some health issues that, mess him up. Last playoffs, he was sick throughout the whole Toronto series. That messed him up. So, I don't know. Also, Tobias Harris played like trash in the playoffs. I'm going to be honest with you. He shot poorly. Al Horford is old, and Josh Richardson is good, but what is his ceiling? What can he do more? I feel like what he is right now is his ceiling, and that's still great, but I just feel like the Bucks are over them, man. I'm sorry. Maybe something different can happen and the Sixers can make it, but as of right now, I feel like the Bucks are definitely going to make it to the finals. Maybe not definitely, but that's who I believe will make it to the finals. But moving on, though, I just want to discuss their team. Yes, they did lose Malcolm Brogdon. That was a big loss. I mean, that guy averaged 15 points on 50, 40, 90 shooting. He was a good playmaker for them, a good defender. He did it all for them, basically. But, I mean, I don't think that loss is as big as people are making it out to be. Yes, as I just said, Malcolm Brogdon is a great player, but this guy's already 26, so how much better can he get? He's had lots of foot injuries. I mean, he was injured for, I believe, 20 to 25 games last year, and the Bucks were just fine without them. So, obviously, that says something. I think, I don't know. I think importance to this team, I think he's a system player, kind of. I don't know. He's a weird player. I don't know. I really can't say much about him. I just don't think the loss is as big as people are making out to be. And they got back Wesley Matthews on legit $20 million less. So, that's a good signing. Moving on to the different players on his team, they re-signed Chris Middleton, who I also thought was a great signing. I mean, Chris Middleton is an all-star player. He's Giannis's guy. It just made sense. He's been there since the beginning, since before. Was he there before you got Giannis? I do believe he was there before you got Giannis. Or they were probably there around the same time. Either way, I mean, he was your second best player, second most important player. Yes, I did say that. He's a guy who can give you 20 points on efficient shooting. That's rare in this league. So he's a great guy. And I mean, the core that they have now of Giannis, Middleton, I don't even want to say Eric Bledsoe, because Eric Bledsoe, I just want to talk about this topic really quickly. I mean, the Bucks' whole philosophy throughout the whole season was getting Giannis the most shooters around him. And then they go out, trade for Eric Bledsoe last year, sign him to an extension, and play him over George Hill in the playoffs, when obviously you should have definitely played George Hill over him. Yeah, I mean, Eric Bledsoe would have been great to come off the bench. And that's another topic that I want to say, moving on, you're creating different holes. Mike Budenholzer, I feel like he's just a great regular season coach. That's what I feel like. When it comes playoff time, I don't think he's good. He's one of those coaches, the same thing with Mike D'Antoni. They cannot adjust. They have their set system, and that's the system they're going to run with. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then it's bad, because teams can more than likely, what's the word I'm looking for? Teams can, hurt their system. Teams, can scheme against them. With the Rockets' whole system is threes or layups. They don't take any mid-range shots, and that's really what hurts them, because first off, this is not even a Rockets thing, and I'm talking about the Rockets, but Daryl Morey, I don't know how I like him as a GM. He's an analytics guy, and analytics, oh my God, I said this before, I just hate that. When you construct a team based off analytics, you're not gonna win. But moving on though, back to Mike Budenholzer. It happened with the Hawks when they went against Cleveland. He could not make a game plan to adjust to what Cleveland was doing, and they got swept. It happened literally this past offseason. He could not make a game plan to scheme against the Raptors, and what happened? They lost 4 straight games. In those games, I was like, bro, sit Eric Bledsoe. He should not be starting. Eric Bledsoe, he's a great defender, yes, but he does not fit this team at all. He cannot shoot, he cannot shoot, and he's so aggressive for no reason. There were many times when they needed to slow it down. He would make a crazy pass or run headfirst into the rim, stuff like that. And it hurt them. So, yeah, but that's enough of Eric Bledsoe. Moving on, though, if Giannis continues to do what he's been doing, this team will be fine. If he continues to give you, obviously, 27, 13, and 6, your team is going to have success. And I think they're going to continue to have success. But it just depends on how much more they can get. I feel like right now, this is their ceiling. And past this season, if they don't win it all, I think that's kind of it. I don't know. They have a short window, and their window is now. And I know I sound like I'm kind of contradicting everything I say, letting Malcolm Brogdon walk when this is your window of opportunity. So it makes sense to resign him. But still, I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I think people are blowing it out of proportion. I think they'll adjust. They have a great GM. I don't know how I even feel about him, because that dude is, I don't know. GMs that, are scared to go over the luxury tax, I will always hate. They have no place in the NBA. So there's that. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place in this video. I'm saying, that they're going to be fine, and I'm saying that they're not. But that's how I feel about them. If everything does go right, obviously, you're going to win the finals. But with how their team is constructed now, you still have great players. And Malcolm Brogdon's his absence, I think it will be picked up between players such as Dante DiVincenzo and Pat Connaughton and Sterling Brown. Should be able to pick up that load. Wesley Matthews also. So yeah, if I had to, look at their starting lineup, if you have a starting lineup of George Hill, Wesley Matthews, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, that's a great starting 5. And then off the bench, your 6th man can be Eric Bledsoe. I think Eric Bledsoe has to have that 6-man role. I think that's where he's perfect at. I think that's where he's best at, and that's what they should do moving forward. And honestly, their free agency really wasn't that bad. At least we got something back from Malcolm Brogdon, obviously. So yeah, that's it. I like the Bucks a lot, man. I hope Giannis does win one. I really do want to see him win a championship, because he's such a genuine player. He works hard, and yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Bucks for these past, couple of seasons, because Giannis does like to win, and if they aren't able to win, just wait. 2021 is coming up, so we'll see what happens then, if Giannis resigns or if he doesn't. That'll be a good topic to talk about in another video. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. It's So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.